Welcome back again today, friends. Travis and I, we're out. We're on the loose. Oh no, call the law on us. We're out. It's trouble. Something. Okay. Last evening, I was filming a bunch of cooking videos, as is my way, and I took some questions and it asked me anything on Instagram. And I have a whole bunch of questions I didn't get to, and I thought, since we're driving home in mostly silence besides road noises without kids, I could answer some more of these questions that you guys sent me. So Ashley asked, see, here's the little questions I'm going off of. Do y'all plan on having any more children? And this question I will get in I probably have it 15 more times here. Sure, we do plan on having more children. Benjamin he'll be 3 in July. All of my babies have been 2 to 3 years apart. I'm 40. I'm old, Travis. So maybe we'll have longer spacing in between our last few babies. Maybe I won't get any more babies. I want some more babies, but it's in the Lord's hands. I have nothing to say about it. Come on, body. Let's have some more babies here. So we are also open during some season in life to look into adoption. I have a friend from church who is able to adopt a baby from the hospital in our state. I know it's a process, it's a journey. I have Angela Braniff's new book, Love Without Borders. I've loved following Angela and CR's journey from this gathered nest, and I'm sure that book will spur all kinds of adoption, encouragement and inspiration in my soul. I also have some good friends who've adopted and are adopting again. So we have toes in that world, and we did used to be foster parents, and we were licensed to foster and adopt. So we shall see. That's all I got today, though. Aubrey asks, what's your favorite crock pot recipe? It is anything I can throw and go. All of it's good. Do you have a favorite? It's all good. It's the right answer. Mandy asks, do you miss your old house? I don't. You miss it, Trav? Now this could be, we could do a Q&A with Travis. Do you miss the old house? He doesn't. He doesn't. He loves our new place better. Our new house, like from even our first night there, we woke up and felt like it was home. And Travis has said it's like the house we always should have had. So it's just perfect in so many ways. The videos probably don't capture that. A lot of it's based on things that Travis and I enjoy, and location-wise, and all of these things. But the new house checks more boxes for us, and we're very thankful for it. Another question is, are you done doing improvements on your house? No, I don't think so. We got lots of improvements we will be doing. We're just taking a homesteading setup pause. A lot of the things that we're getting in place with homesteading will then just need maintenance. We won't always have to build fences and buildings, and I think I will always be acquiring animals, though, right? You think this is, Travis was like, that's the new trend. I used to look at houses all the time, and now I'm working animal deals. Today, we are going to get my dairy goat. Dairy goats are coming, yay. So back to home improvements. We were even noticing, even the last few days, because our house now has 2 full bathrooms, and it has the plumbing and such set up for the 3rd. And so I was thinking, if we don't get to it before next winter, I bet by next winter we'll be doing that 3rd bathroom. You think so? And again, I know sometimes I get comments like, Jamerrill, you make all these plans and you never do nothing. So I'm not writing in blood that the 3rd bathroom will be finished in the winter. I'm saying, just like I'm chatting to a friend, I could see where we really need a 3rd bathroom, and that will be on the upcoming list. Right now, we just had a bunch of work done to our well, and that was a pretty penny. We probably could have put in a 3rd bathroom for that, right? And that was something we chose to have done because I've always wanted one of those hand pumps. We've said this at all of our houses. If we could have one of those water hand pumps that does not require electricity. Where we live is close to where we used to live in our farmhouse, and there were, at least out of 10 years, there were 2 full weeks with no power. Another question, are you the only cook in your family? Well, I don't have to be. I mean, at times when I haven't cooked, you've cooked, right? I enjoy cooking. I enjoy bulk shopping. I enjoy meal prepping. It gives me life. I enjoy it. So if I enjoy it, why can't I do it, right? I'm certainly not a slave in my kitchen. And Travis, you're not chaining me in there, right?
My mama taught me how to cook. I better say that.
That's right. Yes, Travis said he better say his mama taught him how to cook. That's right. And I did not know how to cook. I did not know how to boil rice. I did not know how to fry an egg. My mom and I were in a trauma life and total survival mode. So I started to learn to cook. And now I'm a couple decades in. I got my own way. I don't even know. Maybe I can't cook. I know I don't use my measuring cups right. I use wet cups for dry and dry cups for wet. I don't care. It all works out in the end. Another question, what's your favorite thing about your new house? So many things. I love having the basement. I knew I would love that, and I do. It has not done me wrong yet. I love that there's a separate room down there that we can store animal feed and have some animals sleep in or brood chicks in. Love that. Love that there's this whole other room I can do short-term and long-term food storage in. I just love my basement almost as much as I love my hand mixer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love your new home and property? A 12, right? 12, yeah, we just love it. We so love it. What are your favorite things to do for your mommy time alone? I love to sit. I love to think. I love to drink coffee. I love to read. I have not got back to my cross stitch that I started before the move. I know you're so surprised, but I am always full of hope. So there's that. Yeah, sitting is my favorite. Another mom asked, have you ever experienced miscarriages? I hope this isn't inappropriate. I've had many, so I am sorry about your miscarriages. I have never had a miscarriage that I know of. I know my woman's health nurse practitioner told me that it's very rare that I've had 8 pregnancies and 8 healthy births all in a row with no miscarriages. She had told me that her grandma, I think, had 8 children, but they didn't know until later she had had like 20 pregnancies. So I definitely know, again, as women, our bodies are different. But I will tell you some beautiful encouragement. My friend Crystal Payne, she's at moneysavingmom.com and the Money Saving Mom on Instagram. They had 3 children close together, and then they experienced 11 years of secondary infertility. And again, go over, find her. I'll try to link her down in the description below. And her story goes that they did every testing possible, and it was even determined in the last year or so that they were not even candidates for in vitro fertilization. This fall, she thought she was going into early menopause, and she was pregnant after 11 years. They also have begun their foster parenting journey, and they have a newborn from foster care, and she just gave birth to their baby. So it's just neat how it can all be orchestrated. Different than how we think, but still beautiful. Victoria asked, how are you and your family holding up with all this craziness? I think we're good. Are we good? We're good? Yeah. Yeah, short answers there from Travis. Long answers from me. He'll say yeah and sure. We have always schooled from home, worked from home. I mean, at least for the last, we've been homeschooling over 15 years, working from home 8, going on 9 years. Travis has been home full time since 2013. Now, that does not mean that we never go out any other time. I mean, we have lessons and youth group and church and homeschool group and field trips and travels and all of those fun things. But for the most part, our working and schooling and everyday life, we're already a full-time family. I know it's a big change right now with so many families having to be home, but for us, because we're not going to church 1, 2, 3 times a week. We're not going to homeschool group. We're not doing all of our other normal running, which is part of why we moved to where we were, to cut down on our running time anyway. But now it's like it's all cut out. So a lot of people have asked, how are we getting all this homesteading stuff going and done? Well, that's it. Instead of driving 10, 15, 20 hours a week. And instead of going to all these outside activities, we are investing probably 40, would you say 40 hours a week? We're probably putting 40 to 50 hours a week in right now into getting Homestead set up. So there you go. Now this is a question, I answered this on Instagram and I talked so long about it. And you're gonna know when I start talking about this, you're gonna say, oh yeah, that's Jamerrill's jam. You ask her this, you're gonna get 12 Instagram slides. So this one lady asked, how did you end up with so many refrigerators and freezers? Be still my heart. How did she know I was gonna? Did you watch my Instagram where I talked about our freezers for like 10 minutes? It's ridiculous. But again, like I feel joy in my heart right now talking about freezers and refrigerators. And I have joy in my heart. Look, headbands and bandanas. Just love it. Okay, so story time. We have 4 refrigerators and 2 full freezers. And it sounds excessive. What am I doing with my life? Well, back in our first house, we had bought a refrigerator that did not go with that house, so we took it with us. Then we bought our farmhouse. At our farmhouse, it came with a side-by-side refrigerator in the kitchen, and I was like, well, I don't like side-by-sides, but I'll use it till it dies. Came with that, and we put our first house refrigerator back in our laundry room. And when we moved into the farmhouse, we had a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a newborn. And we were just, you know, in like rolling into our second year of homeschooling. I was a newer nurse at that point, yada, yada, yada. During that first year or so at the farmhouse, we weren't using the second refrigerator too much. It would be more like for a watermelon in the summer or just extras. But when I got to the point where I wanted to lay down my night shift nursing hours, I was falling asleep driving home after a 16-hour shift, and you know, that kind of stuff. When I decided to fully come home, and I felt like the Lord was challenging me to lay that down and come home and prove Him faithful. And already for years by that point, I had been bi-weekly grocery shopping, but still bi-weekly grocery shopping for a smaller family. I could do most of that in our main refrigerator and some pantry stuff. So when I decided to come home full-time, that's when I started to jump into once a month grocery shopping, and that's where that second refrigerator really proved helpful. Then I had baby number 4, and we also dabbled in some foster care during that season, and I got my grocery budget down to a science. Now, I was not a working mom at that point. I mean, I was home with small children and homeschooling. That was a season where I say like micromanage the budget, the nothing budget. And I had it down to a science where we needed up to 15 gallons of milk is the highest that it got to for the month. So I would freeze about 7 or 8 of those. I'd leave the rest in the back refrigerator, maybe put 2 out in our main refrigerator. And we did that for several years. The freezer meals I did, I would not do like a whole month at a time, but it would be very much like make 1 casserole, you know, double the recipe, do a second one, very small scale. Then about, see, I was pregnant with Daniel, I believe, or it might have been with Amelia. So she's 7, he's 5. Anywhere from 6 to 8 years ago, our neighbor at the farmhouse had a yard sale, and he had an old used full freezer. It was not as big as the freezers I have now, and he had an older, small, you know, small to medium size refrigerator. And I want to say the freezer was like $75, and the refrigerator might have been about the same price, or even $50. And so those went in our schoolroom, and at first I thought, okay, Jamerrill, what are you doing with these? But then I started to get heavy into like mass producing freezer meals, and those saving my life. And so I quickly learned, oh yeah, I can fill this extra full freezer, and I started using that third refrigerator. Whenever we moved to our forest house, that is the freezer and the refrigerator that came with us. And I want to say, I don't know, within a few weeks they died. They did not handle the move well. And they also probably didn't handle going from being inside our house to being outside in the garage. Who knows? They were old. So that was very, very sad. So I got my first, I think it's a 22 cubic foot full freezer from Lowe's, and I was like a Memorial Day sale. I even have a vlog about it. I was pregnant with Benjamin, and it was like $620, and I love that thing. and obviously we filled it multiple loads. I then, somewhere within there, I was having trouble finding like a used replacement refrigerator. It wasn't, you know, you got to work your ads right, you got to put time into that. Then I heard a story of my other friend who got a used refrigerator and then it died on her and she lost a lot of food, and I was like, ugh. So I just worked my deals and I got like the cheapest couple $100 refrigerator replacement. I want to say it was like 400 or so from Lowe's. So then I had a full freezer again, full refrigerator, and I still had my first house refrigerator. So then we were back to 2 refrigerators in the garage and the full freezer and the house refrigerator. Then I went to buy the full cow and like 20 pasture-raised chickens and a whole pig. Just bought a whole lot of meat for the year up front. Well, my freezer was full of freezer meals that I would rotate through. So included in that investment was the meat freezer, because I figured, well, this way I can always have meat ahead also. And remember, our forest house was an hour or so away from all the things always. So that was good for me to have on hand. So now when we moved to this house, we replaced the kitchen refrigerator. So that gives us our old faded refrigerator. We still have the refrigerator going strong from our first house over 20 years ago. Then we have the replacement refrigerator I bought to replace that one from the yard sale. And then we have our 2 freezers. And then I have my kitchen refrigerator. So it's 4 refrigerators, 2 full freezers. I have thought, because we do want to get into raising a lot of our own meat, I've had the thought, well, I wonder if we're gonna need a 3rd freezer, and we may. Right now, I'm waiting, because I also plan to do a lot of canning with the meat. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see. I mean, all the meat's not gonna come in at one time. We could end up needing a 3rd freezer. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay, so now I'll have to talk real loud. Can you hear me? Now I'm in a diesel truck. There's our large dog cage that we're gonna bring home our dairy goat in. Very exciting. We are now in Travis's diesel truck, and I just run a stoplight. How's this gonna go? I don't know, but I'm gonna try. So I guess all that to say, with the freezers and the refrigerators, my joke on Instagram was just be old, be married a long time, have a lot of kids, move a couple times, and you too can end up with a bunch of refrigerators and freezers. Texas Gardener asked, are you going to be doing a canning video? Yes. If I don't have a canning video up yet, there's canning videos a-coming. I canned every day this past week, and I'm going to can every day this coming week. Lots of fun canning plans in the works. Another Instagram friend is asking, do you have an easy DIY young child activity for indoors? So my go-to for little kids indoors is Play-Doh. It's homemade Play-Doh. I will link my homemade Play-Doh recipe down in the description below. Homemade Play-Doh will give you hours and hours and hours of little kid indoor entertainment. After that, another thing I've done is I've had bins with beans. Back when beans weren't a hot commodity, little kids love sorting and fiddling with beans and rice. Those are great things for them to play with. So we're home now. Gonna keep working through these questions. At least now we don't have the diesel engine in the background. Not that Travis would actually watch the video if he could hear that. Okay, so let's see. Another viewer asked, I can't remember if you mentioned it in a video, but how long have you homeschooled? So this is our 15th year of homeschooling. Yay, forever, always. Someone else asked, what are your plans for the weekend? Well, this weekend, my big plan was to get a goat, and we got her, and it's going great. So look for more videos on Jazzy the goat. She's like a dream goat. Instead of a dream boat, I now have dream goat. Someone else asked, are your stores stocked with food? And another question is, have you had trouble finding things you need when you're grocery shopping? Our stores had a lot of limits for many weeks. Milk, bread, eggs. I think eggs are still, there's still a limit on eggs. Still a limit on toilet paper, when and if they have it. Other things I've seen, I was at Walmart earlier this week, then a Sharp Shopper today. And so at Walmart, I was able to get 1 pack of toilet paper. And at Sharp Shopper today, they had a limit of 2. Walmart had a limit of 1. I was able to get 2 more, and the ones at Sharp Shopper, they're like really small, little cheap rolls, but they are toilet paper. I know part of what's happening, and many of you have probably heard this, but just for the few that haven't, we've all been given lots of different information, lots of different degrees of information, lots of stuff thrown at us, right? And so I think a big issue with the toilet paper is not so much people, you know, a family with 2 people in it, or 1 person or whatever going and buying 50 packs of toilet paper. I think it's more of the supply chain issue, and our toilet paper industries in general, just like with milk and other products, our supplies are not set up for all families to be home full-time all the time. You know, kids go away to school every day, parents go to work, people are using toilet paper other places. So I read that in an article and I thought, you know what, that makes sense. A lot of people are, you know, many kids are at school, many people are at factories or office buildings or other things. So toilet paper companies just weren't ready for suddenly every family everywhere to be home and need toilet paper for home. So that's why if I see toilet paper, now sometimes I went out the week before and there was no toilet paper to be had. So this week I got 3 packs because there will be weeks where there is none, and 3 packs is nothing for 9 people home full time all the time anyway. So I feel like in our stores things are getting better for the moment, but I'm also seeing where thousands of chickens are being killed, pork plants are shutting down, you know, lots of potential food concerns coming up. And again, none of it may happen, and that would be wonderful. But it makes me want to grow a garden and get some meat birds and become as self-sufficient as possible with my food choices. And so things like going to Sharp Shopper to get, well actually I found a real good deal, 50-pound bag of wheat berries, super excited about that. But going into Sharp Shopper with like $200 or $300 every 6 to 8 weeks is just gravy on the biscuit. But if we can provide as much of our food at home as possible. I know that not everyone is able to do that, and I'm not even doing that yet. But all of this has sparked that in my soul. So that's where we're headed. Another lady asked, are you going to show any more about your plantings in the gardens? Yes, if I haven't shown it yet, a lot is coming up. I'm gonna show the gardens, I'm gonna show the animals, I'm gonna show it. Just doing all I can possibly do and show it one time. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram, showing a lot over there, because I can just click, click, click. Don't need to edit, get stuff up. But I love doing YouTube, not stopping doing YouTube. But I'm gonna continue to show the rodeo. Another question is, do you think you will get a milk cow? I probably will. Don't be surprised when I get the milk cow. This is your warning, like it's coming. No, well, it's not coming yet, but I can totally see having a milk cow now. We got the dairy goat. Goat milk is fantastic, by the way. Yes. And I want to do goats because that's small scale. So we may go by next summer with like a miniature Jersey cow. But I also saw where we could get like a heifer calf for $400. And it was a big cow. I don't remember the breed. It wasn't a Jersey, but it was another common breed of cow that you hear about. Okay, whatever's not a Jersey, but still a common cow. And I thought, well, that's a good price. So again, we're in a farming area. We are rural. One set of our friends have always had a cow in milk, and I think they breed her every year or every other year. And then with the baby, they either let it get to a certain point and process it, or they sell it. And she has just been their milk cow for a while now. And then I have friends with goats. I don't have any local friends that have miniature milk cows. So we'll see. We have 7 acres. That's not 20 acres, you know, of course not. But it's not 2 acres like I used to have at the farmhouse either. So I do have room here where I could do like 1 cow, and I have some spots I could rotate it around. I couldn't do a whole herd of cows. I can do a whole herd of goats though. I can see, as of today I have 3 goats, in another week I'll have 5. Those are boys that are coming. One's gonna be a banded wither, and one is gonna be the daddy goat for the little Nigerian dwarf goats. I can see where I'll have 12 goats real quick, so don't be surprised when that happens either. So I want to do a whole video with my 2020 sudden homestead plan. But real quick, I will say for 2020, my goals became to add in a bunch more laying hens. Check, we did that. To add in meat birds. Check, we're trying to do that, but we're having trouble with the hatchery, but I have a lot of my equipment. To add in goats. Check, we did that. And then I want to add in meat rabbits. Check, I have the hutch for them now, and I have 3 reserved. They're not old enough to leave their mama yet. In a few weeks, we'll be getting those meat rabbits. So then the other animals that are already ordered and coming, I've staggered my animals so we have time to work them in. Again, this is where, in that homestead plan video, I'm gonna have my whiteboard and like lay it out. But I have an order for guinea hens, geese, and ducks, but I scheduled that one for end of June. So the only other animals that we're adding, so I guess we're over halfway with the animals I wanted to add for this year. I would love to do probably 2 meat pigs. Not there yet. It's gonna take a little more research. Probably not gonna be getting to check that box until towards the end of May, which is a little bit slow because I think a lot of people get their meat pigs like March or April. I think the proper term is feeder pigs. But if we can get 2 feeder pigs, I'm gonna go for it. And then there's gonna be tons of gardening. Got a lot planted in the garden already. Tons of gardening, tons of canning. As I mentioned, I canned every day last week. Gonna just keep on practicing those skills. I think that's it for 2020. Over half of that is set up, continuing to walk out the rest of it, continuing with our routines, lots of fun. But for 2021, I would then like to look into like mini Jersey cow and a good old pony. And I know some people say ponies are mean or different opinions about ponies. I always had an old pony growing up. I will not be picking the horse or the pony. My mom knows these things. She can look at an animal and tell. Oh, yeah. So my mama's gonna pick us out an old pony when it comes to be that time. Not this summer though. Gotta save something for next summer. Oh, and then, see, I have this friend named Chelsea, and she's a good homestead mama influence on me. And Chelsea has a couple sheep, and she's only been homesteading a couple years, and she's doing it all, so it's very encouraging. So next summer will be mini Jersey cow, some kind of old pony, probably throwing in a couple sheep. Lots of fun, yeehaw. Another question, when are you getting your new stove and your oven? Oven is in. I wasn't sure canning wise with the stovetop I had picked out. It was a flat top. I mentioned I was concerned about canning on a flat top, on a glass top, right? Several of you reminded me, many of you told me you can on a glass flat top stove. And I remembered back over a decade ago when I was canning, oh yeah, I had a glass top stove. I still ended up breaking it. I dropped a cast iron pan on it, so that'll do it. And then I broke the glass top stove at our forest house. I don't know which cooking configuration caused that one to break, but I did it. I done did it. So I would like to research stovetops. I'm thinking I should just probably get an electric coil stovetop. Do they even still make those anymore? I don't know. Another question that is here, someone wanted to know, is your garage oven hooked up? And it is. There was something, another mom wanted to know, hey Jamerrill, what did Travis do about the plug? Because she wanted to put one in and her husband said something about the plug and they couldn't do it. Travis did something with a plug and he's not here right now for me to ask him. But he worked it all out. He's an electrician. It's all fair and square. The oven is hooked up in the garage, and I did a whole bunch of banana bread fit. I think I got 4 loaves total, but 2 of them were small, and then 2 regular size pans, and then the garage oven held a couple pans too. Now it's a full-size oven, but it only has 1 rack. So I told Travis, I said, Travis, and this is your reminder, Travis, when you're watching, I want him to order me on eBay or wherever, get me another oven rack so I can have 2 racks going. Wicked rumor online is that my new oven doesn't hold all my 9x13 and 10x16 pans. I don't know why people care about stuff like that, but it's a lie. This oven holds my pans just fine. It does not hold my gigantic sheet pans, but it holds regular old sheet pans. That's the thing that it does not hold. So there you go, set you straight. Okay, another question. Do you ever use swear words? I can't imagine you do. I don't use them. If I say stupid, that's a bad word at our house, okay? So don't say stupid. Already, if my kids are watching, like, that's a bad word. But no, it says in the Bible, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. You know, a good test is, I don't know, if you stub your toe or something falls on you, what comes out of your mouth? Usually, it's something like, Jesus, help me, okay? So I know that's all I got is Jesus, and I'm not saying no bad words. Someone asks, how much property do you have now? We have 7 acres, yeehaw. Feel like that's the perfect mix. You know, our forest house was 13 acres, but again, right up to the national forest, all kinds of predatory wildlife. I mean, here, I don't know, there might be skunks or raccoons. We haven't seen any yet, but I'm sure there are. But we're not dealing with like coyotes and bears and mountain lions. We're close to town, but we're rural and we're private, so it's the best of both worlds. And then another hot topic question. Since you are not unpacked yet, do you think you will really need all those items in your basement that you say you haven't unpacked? You've been living without them. Okay, that's a great question. So the items I still haven't unpacked are things like our essentials that we still need. We're just temporarily living without them, but they're not things I want to go without long term, like snow boots and snow pants and kids' jackets and my hats for all different kinds of weather. My contacts. I mean, I have boxes for my bathroom that are not unpacked yet. My contacts are in one of those boxes. I need those. My water pick, I've been living without it. So we're comfortable, we're set up, but there's still things like all my canning stuff is in one spot. I want to get that on shelves. Sure, there are some boxes of kids stuff for the kids' rooms that we will go through another layer of, but I think at the most, let's see here. So I've probably got 5 or so boxes of office stuff, my various business books and papers and I don't know, whatever you want to say, office boxes. Probably got at least 12 big extra large boxes of books for a home library. Maybe that's 20. No, those aren't going anywhere. I know I'm not purging books. We will get a bookshelf up again. It shall live again. And I've got one kitchen box here looking at me. I know what's in it. And then I'm thinking, I'm seeing like kids' life jackets. We have a lot of life jackets. We have fishing gear. All of that needs organized in the basement. The room that's gonna be my short-term and long-term food storage room, just dream of all dreams. If you've not noticed, we have no pictures hung on the walls and none of my stained glass windows are hung up yet. I've gotten questions like, where's the birds in your window? So those things are not hung up yet. We'll get to them. They're sitting there, they're waiting for us. There's no big furniture down there. It's just stuff we're keeping that's kind of like what is left, and now I need to go through and organize that. I hope you enjoyed all these questions. These were a bunch that were left over when I did some Instagram story questions on Instagram last evening. I gotta go now because it's time for my live call with the large family table community. Super exciting times, exciting stuff. So I will talk to you real soon. Got a whole lot coming out here on YouTube. Lots more homesteading, lots more freezer meals. Gonna start getting up some more grocery hauls. Whole lot going on with this goat milk thing. So I'll see you real soon with another brand new video, and I will talk with you in those comments below. Bye-bye.